There's something that happens to me when I look through a telephoto lens. It's like the whole world disappears and I'm just experiencing that one moment, the emotion, the expression, the feeling in an animal. I'm able to really cut out everything. It helps me focus, it helps me hyper-focus, and those are the things, being able to take that picture at that moment that really makes somebody see that an animal has a personality. The tools that we have helps us connect, and that's why I'm excited to share my passion and help you all connect in the same way I connect to nature. Hi, I'm Nikon Ambassador Kristi Odom. I'm an Associate Fellow of the International League of Conservation Photographers, and I am a conservation photographer and filmmaker. I've been traveling back and forth to Bolivia for the last 10 years. That's why I'm really excited to be taking this journey with you here this week. Last time you saw me was on B&H's 5-part wildlife series in Yellowstone National Park, and now the weather has changed. We're in a little bit more of a humid environment. We are out in the middle of the Bolivian Amazon, and I get to show you all new tips and tricks and more about conservation storytelling and how to have a little more impact inside your images. I believe strongly that animals have emotion. I believe strongly that photography can connect people and help us understand that we share this planet with so many beautiful and intelligent beings. One of the first places that I really felt the emotions of animals was at La Senda Verde, an animal sanctuary just south of La Paz in Bolivia. And I remember I went during a very difficult time in my own life, and I saw something I didn't expect. I saw all these animals that had deep emotional trauma. When animals are taken out of the wild and into animal trafficking, the mothers are usually killed. They're taken from their habitat. I saw so much sadness, but I also saw a resilience and a desire and a drive to live. I saw a beauty that happens on the other side of trauma. And when I was going through my rough time 10 years ago, it gave me this strength. The animals gave me inspiration. They gave me hope. And it was something that I remember so powerfully that it made me want to dedicate my life to showing the emotions in wildlife, to getting people to understand and to care. And that way people can hopefully love, conserve, and cherish and really appreciate the beings that we share this planet with. That's why it's really special that we've come to Bolivia to start at the sanctuary where I found the passion, the emotion in animals that gave me my drive to do conservation, and then to move on and go into the wild. La Senda Verde has moved into a direction where they're working to save native bees, because what's the use of saving animals if you're not going to protect the land as well? Native bees are responsible for the pollination of the native forest. So La Senda Verde, they've hired a bee biologist, a bee specialist that has been traveling around to all these indigenous communities and teaching them how to harvest the honey from native bees. Not only does that give them a sustainable revenue source, but it also helps protect the land and help protect the Amazon. As part of the International League of Conservation Photographers, it is very important to make sure I do not disturb wildlife while I take photos and while I do videos. So I'm always looking for the most ethical practices. While we're at the sanctuary, yes, we do get close to these animals, and that is something that is very challenging because I feel like animals should be in the wild. They should be in their natural environment. But it's important for me in conservation to help tell those stories of the animals that can't be returned to the wild, the animals that have been brought into trauma. And I want to make sure you all know that having a wild animal is not okay. That's one of the reasons why we're ending this series in the Amazon, to hopefully see some of these animals in their natural environment. But honestly, I'm happy if we don't see them because they need to stay away from people, and it is beautiful that they have such a great home to live in. For me, my gear consists of Nikon. I've got my Nikon Z8, my Nikon Z9. I've got everything from macro lenses. I've got two 150 Z macro, one 105. I've got my wide angle, my 14 to 30. I've got my 100 to 400, and then I've also got my 800 for those animals that are far away in the Amazon. Really excited to show everything from the long lenses to the short lenses to the wide lenses on this amazing journey. Oh, and I actually have some flash. We're gonna be playing around with some rear curtain sync and some cool flash features that you can also use as long as you don't disturb the wildlife you're photographing with your use of lights. So we're starting at the sanctuary, we're gonna move into the bee project, and then we're also gonna talk a bit about conservation storytelling, and then we're gonna end our series in the Amazon so that we can experience the biodiversity of this amazing, beautiful part of this world. I hope that through this series, through photo and video, you understand and you see just how much impact us photographers can have. Impact to get stories out, impact to get people to care about wildlife, impact to get people to care about animals. There's so much beauty in this world, and us as photographers, we have the tool to celebrate it and shout out about our passion. I'm excited for you all to join me in this beautiful part of the world.